Hi there, my name is Jaco from Straaten, and 2 years ago I made a decision that changed my life. Now, to give you a bit of backstory, I've always struggled with eating too much and being overweight. When I was like 13, 14 years old, I already weighed over 100 kilograms and spent most of my teenage years having a cycle of feeling insecure, eating my feelings, and then once again getting depressed, and then again eating more, feeling more insecure, feeling depressed, and that cycle continued until I was like 18 years old, when I decided to try lose some weight. But I did it in an unhealthy way. I took a bunch of diet pills and I used to take more than the recommended dose, which didn't last. I lost a lot of weight in a year, got very sick and had to stop with that. And then I tried to keep exercising, but when I was 21 I broke my back and they weren't sure if I was going to walk again, but they told me I could forget about ever getting into bodybuilding or anything like that. And I got depressed and pretty much gave up on myself and my body, and since then spent year on year gaining more and more weight, until 2 years ago when I made this decision. But the thought started when my daughter was born 6 years ago. And I looked at her and thought, you know, I'm so out of breath just from walking with her up and down, not being able to do anything without getting exhausted and huffing and puffing. I wasn't feeling healthy. And I started to think, I can't live like this. But then fast forward 4 years until I was 34. Woke up, looked in the mirror and decided, this is not who I want to be. I don't want to die without knowing what I'm capable of and what I can achieve if I put my mind to it. So then I decided to start exercising on the daily, give myself 8 months to see if anything changes. I started exercising, made a lot of mistakes, did it the wrong way. I started bulking when you should have started by trying to cut down your food instead of increasing it. But I was saying, okay, if I'm exercising, I want to bulk and get bigger, which wasn't the right decision. But I tried and struggled for 8 months. But then I started to see this little muscle here, and that gave me inspiration. It's like, okay, you know what, I'm starting to see a difference. So surely something's working. And then I started to keep going and eating healthy and making sure that I do my cardio on the daily. And I worked up to the point where now I've lost about 54 kilograms. I used to weigh 150 kilograms and look like this, and now I look like this. Now, it wasn't an easy journey, but it's something that when you make that decision, when you look in the mirror and you decide, this is it, I'm giving myself one more shot and I'm worth one more shot, it's worth doing. And I can tell you, the only regret I have is that I didn't do it when I was younger, because at 34 as a male, you're not at your peak testosterone, you're not at your peak fitness, you're not at your peak potential, and I still was able to do it. So if I'm able to do it, I know that you are too. You just have to decide when you're starting it. This is one of the best feelings after losing 50 kilograms. Now this is a triple X shirt. I used to fill this thing out, used to rest on my belly, and I used to walk around like Shamu or something, not feeling good about myself. And now recently, at the end of last year, I was able to move into this shirt. Let me just make sure it's the right way around. There we go. And this looks so much better. I mean, just the fact that I'm able to wear this is incredible, and it's like one of those goals ticked. The next one is pretty soon, you guys will see.